Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kendall Fisher. I'm the NetSuite Senior Media Production Manager. Welcome to our live panel dedicated to our all-new Advanced Customer Support, or ACS, Playbooks, which is an extension of our ACS service. We'll cover exactly that, what the playbooks are, why they're so beneficial to our customers in overcoming some of their top challenges, as well as hitting key growth milestones. Now, to do so, we'll bring on some key members of the team behind the launch of ACS Playbooks. Nat Rosenthal, the Vice President of Professional Services, Vinay Intwala, Senior Director of Customer Success, and Moneta Rios, the ACS Practice Manager. Now, if you haven't joined us during one of our live events before, we love to hear from you. Hey, we're all in this together. Although we're virtual, we still want to communicate with you. So use the comments to ask any questions you may have throughout today's event, and we'll get to as many of those questions during a live audience Q&A with our panel, like I said, at the end of the event. And hey, if you don't have any questions, that's okay too. Just give us a shout out. Use the comments to do so. Tell us where you're tuning in from, and we'll shout out right back to you. We know you're tuning in from all over the place, and we want to share that with everyone. I am actually based in Santa Monica, California, so shout out to all my SoCal natives out there. Also, if you happen to be a current ACS user, drop a comment about your experience so we can let others know how you use the service. And with that, enough for me. I'm tired of hearing my own voice. So please welcome me, and please join me in welcoming Nat Rosenthal, Vinay Intwala, and Moneta Rios. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, Kendall.
Hey, Kendall.
So, I've already asked our audience to tell us where they're tuning in from. I think it's super important to have you guys tell them where you all are right now. Nat, let's start with you.
Sure. So right now, this very second, I'm in Austin, Texas. Big shout out from Texas to everybody.
There you go. And Vinay, where are you joining from?
Today, I am joining from not so sunny Toronto, home of Drake and other great artists.
I'm so glad you said that, because I am arguably Drake's number one fan. I think I've said that on about 4 lives over time. So shout out to Drake, shout out to Toronto. And Moneta, where are you joining us from?
I'm outside of Austin, Texas as well. So.
Amazing. Well, thank you.
Here still.
Awesome. Love it. Well, thank you all for joining us. I say it's time to get right into it. So Nat, I'm going to start with you.
Great.
For starters, let's just kind of get in the mode here. What is Advanced Customer Support, or ACS?
Thanks, Kendall. So first, it's great to be here. It's great to be on a live broadcast with everybody. ACS, if I think about it, ACS, or Advanced Customer Support, is essentially a managed service. And so when I think about ACS, or I think about support solely support is essentially a reactive, non-executable service, meaning, you have a support issue, you call support, they give you some feedback, and then you have to go execute that yourself. Whereas ACS, Advanced Customer Support, is a proactive, executable service. So what that means is that ACS not only helps raise issues to you, but say you have an issue and you raise it with ACS, they say, here's the solution, can we get that done? So essentially, whereas support is this sort of far off thing that you don't always use, you sometimes don't even want to use it, ACS is close to you. They're essentially an extension of your team. So they understand your business. Not only they understand your business, but they're a named group of resources, not this sort of generic pool. So they understand your business, your team, your specific NetSuite configuration. So what I think the key differentiators, if I was to leave with anything, it would be that it's proactive and that they do the work for you and with you, as a matter of fact.
So I can obviously gain the benefits of that, but for our audience tuning in who maybe doesn't know a whole lot about NetSuite, know a whole lot about ACS, can you break that down into like the top couple of benefits our customers gain from ACS?
Well, there are a lot of benefits. So if I think of 2 off the top of my head, I would have to say one would be the business focus. So one of the things that we've worked really hard to do is, and this is we come up again and again in this conversation when we talk about playbooks, is try to take how can we proactively engage with your business. So one of the things that ACS is we're divided into what we call verticals. So whether you're a manufacturing company or a retail company or a software company, one of our many other verticals, we understand that business. The ACS team understands your specific business. So it's the ability to take our experience in that vertical and help all of our customers. So we're not just doing one customer at a time, but we're helping all of our customers by leveraging that experience across the vertical. The second piece I'd say is this idea of economies of scale, right? One of the things that we really want from a NetSuite perspective is our customers know their business better than anybody. And Kendall, I was just talking to some folks today, and one of the numbers I got was shocking because it's this, not only do our customers know their business, but people know their business. And our customers have received over this past year $111 billion of funding from venture capital and PE companies. And so they want to use that business. They want to use that money. They want to invest in their business. And so ACS takes care of the software so you can take care of your business. And I think that's really where we get the economies of scale. You know your business the best. NetSuite knows NetSuite. So let us work with you to proactively engage, whether it's just to optimize a report, identify, we roll out functionality all the time, try to grab the new functionality, show it to you proactively so you can focus on your business. And I think if I was to think of two key benefits, it's the business focus and it's these economies of scale that really let you do what you do well.
Yeah, that's great. So with that, I guess my next question would be, are there specific types of customers who should use ACS, or does it benefit really everyone?
It can really benefit from everyone. And I paused a little bit there because I'm reading some of the comments. And Melissa just said, I couldn't have paid Melissa to do this. Melissa just said we benefited from our ACS engagement through better automation and workflow. It's exactly what I was just talking about. This idea that we're proactively helping you improve your system.
Yeah.
So which customer can benefit from ACS? All of our customers can benefit from ACS. It's just not NetSuite's approach to say only these customers. Yeah. Anybody that uses NetSuite can benefit from ACS. Now that said, we have different levels of ACS for different types of size companies. If you're a big company, if you're a small company, whatever size you are and whatever your needs, including in your stage of growth. And Moneta and Vinay will talk about this again. But this idea that whether you're expanding into capital markets, whether you're expanding internationally, whatever you're doing and whatever size you are, ACS can fit your needs. It's just getting with your account manager to really work through that.
It's some really great points, Nat, because what we've seen, and literally I was on the call yesterday, we had a customer that lost their NetSuite administrator and they needed someone to manage the application. And that's some of the benefits that Nat talked about is, to put it quite simply, it's hands-on keyboard. So not only do we get to actually understand your business, but we can literally take that expertise and actually build things for you and help our customers out. So to Nat's point, we're focusing on the system so you as the customer can focus on your business, right? And that's the key with advanced customer support and kind of the success we've had with the program over the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's great. As Nat noted, we do have some shout outs coming in, and I don't want to get too far behind on them. I promised you we'd shout out right back to you, so I'm going to go ahead and take some time to do that right now. From Susie in Los Angeles, a fellow SoCal person. Hi, Susie. From Melissa, our ACS team is fantastic. From Becky in Northern Illinois, if you live in a warmer place, send us some of that. Wink, wink. Unfortunately, I would send you some warmth right now, Becky, but it is raining in LA today, which is super abnormal, or else I'd send some sunshine your way. From Jevin, hi from Sydney. From Becky, hi from Raleigh, North Carolina. From Donnie, hello. Right in the middle of North Carolina, another North Carolinian. How do you say that? North Carolinian? Whatever. Well, you tell
Close
me.
enough.
How do you say it? From Jesse, who's up in the Bay Area. From Jimmy, let's go Austin, a fellow Austin person there for Moneta and for Nat. From Rami, from Des Moines, Iowa. Alessandra, hello. Alessandra from Vancouver. Lori from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
So go Green Bay, I have to give a shout out. I have to say go Pack Go for the Green Bay. For the Green Bay. I don't know if that may alienate some, that may excite some others, but I have to give a quick shout out.
I'm
Go
a Packer
Leaves,
fan
by the way.
myself, so go Green Bay, go Pack, go. Donnie just, and again, another comment said, my org is getting ACS for the first time starting in January. Can't wait for the extra hands with NetSuite. And like you said, Melissa benefited from ACS engagement through better automation and workflow. Thank you all for commenting. Keep commenting.
Amazing.
Keep shouting out. If you have any comments for any of us, hey, we'll read them. We got you. So keep commenting throughout the rest of the event. Now, Vinay, we kind of got into ACS, what it does, how it benefits our customers. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about.
Yes.
ACS Playbooks. What are the all new, legendary already ACS Playbooks?
They are absolutely legendary. Thanks to Evan and David Rodman for promoting on stage with those crazy inflatables. We are nuts with ACS Playbooks. And here's what they really are. They are actually an extension of advanced customer support. So what we found is when we started talking to our customers, Nat mentioned workflows, automations, but the conversations then started talking about their business. I'm trying to expand in 5 different countries. How do I do that? Or, how do I figure out how to improve my inventory management? Literally talked to a customer yesterday about that. That's what they were looking for ACS with. And so we started thinking about this, and we thought, okay, with all the amazing experience that we have on our NetSuite team, I think we've got decades of ACS experience, thousands of implementations under our belt. What are the common growth initiatives that our customers are actually going through? And what are some of the issues that they're having as customers? And we sat in this room and we literally developed these playbooks that reflect common things that our customers are going through their whole journey on NetSuite. And the idea is, hey, customer, don't worry, we've got your back. If you're trying to go public and you're on the NetSuite platform, we understand what you're going through up to when you need to go IPO and all the work that has to happen post IPO. And that's really what the ACS playbooks are, built on the foundation of our resources experience, meeting the common growth needs our customers have.
I mean, with 27,000 customers all over the globe, that's a lot of experience to have, not to mention the people that are here at NetSuite with the experience and the backgrounds that they have. So that makes total sense. I kind of just want to specify, though. We have this ACS offering. Why wasn't it just a part of ACS? Like, why did we decide to create ACS Playbooks specifically? How do they add to our ACS offering? How do they take it up a step, I guess?
Yeah, that's a fair question. And what we started noticing with our customers is we're constantly doing the day-to-day things that our customers request, like building workflows, building automations. And then, they started asking more specific questions around the opportunities of growth that they had. And so it was like, let's try to identify what you're trying to do, and we'll corner that into what our playbooks are called. So we've created these playbooks for capital markets and acquisitions and going public, to supply chain, to managing your financials. So Kendall, what we wanted to do with playbooks is have an initiative that focuses on the growth of you as an organization, and then have the ACS service continue operating and managing what you're trying to do on a daily basis. We never want to lose focus of what you as an organization are trying to do to meet your growth objectives.
So what challenges are we helping solve for? Like, what areas of those kind of growth opportunities is ACS Playbooks covering?
Great question. And there's a lot of them. So we sat down, and with these challenges, we looked at all the various things that our customers go through. And I think we created like 8 or 9 playbooks. But the main focus of these playbooks is on the operations of a business. And so we looked at the operations of the business and the processes. You may hear terms like order to cash, procure to pay. Well, these playbooks cover them, but we also cover them based on the industry that you're part of, the stage of your growth. Are you pre-revenue? And so we looked at all these things that our customers go through, and we created playbooks. And let me just give you a couple that we've seen once right out of the gate, once we announced them at SuiteWorld. The most popular one that we're seeing is what we call capital markets. And that capital markets playbook is based on customers interested in going public, or whether it's they're buying companies. We've seen a ton of mergers and acquisitions with our NetSuite customers and them looking for help. And not only with that, also divestitures. And so we've been starting to think about this. And I think we just saw a statistic that we have, is it over 190 customers this year alone that have gone public or part of a SPAC, 190 customers. And I think, if I remember correctly, 60% of all tech companies, so 6 out of 10 customers, are NetSuite customers that have gone IPO in the tech industry itself. An amazing statistic. And we've been able to gather all that information and build literally a playbook for customers that are going live or going public. And then all the effort to go public, all the effort that it requires after you've gone public. And that's Capital Markets Playbook is probably one of the most interested playbooks that we've seen. The other one, and just because we just passed through Black Friday, is our performance and risk management. Look at all our retail customers at Kendall. I think you've had a chance to talk to quite a few of them over the years. But a lot of these customers have been asking, we've got Black Friday coming. Are we going to be able to handle the volume of orders that we're going to come into this system tomorrow? Yeah. And not tomorrow, on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, whatever that day is. And we've built tools. We've literally built tools that can measure the performance, that can go in and ensure our customers that moving forward, we can handle your scale. And regardless of what you're anticipating your volumes, we've got direction and we've got your support in how you can do this. And that risk and performance management playbook also, especially with our retail customers, is quite important to them.
Yeah, and especially this year, right? I mean, like I said, I'm in Santa Monica and I can still see the ships lined up trying to get into port. So that's huge. Sorry, Nat, did I cut you off?
No, I was just going to say, Vinay so much more eloquently articulated this idea that we're bringing the experience from a business focus. This idea that you don't have to, I know it's a corny saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I know there's probably too many people in business saying that, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's our expertise and our experience that Vinay talks about. And it's such clear examples of that.
Yeah.
So much more articulate than me. So well, good.
Yeah. Well, so Moneta, we talked about capital markets. We talked about some of the stuff we're doing for our retail customers, but for the other playbooks that we created, how did we go about developing each playbook?
Sure. So ACS, we've always had a methodology that's always been focused on being a consultative process. We approach solving business problems first, and we've always used and leveraged leading practices to solve those, right? So ACS works with companies to solve these business challenges across industries, and what we decided to do is combine our expertise and industry experiences to create the playbooks. It was just natural. So our teams have been doing this a long time, and their skill sets and experiences are deep and diverse. And some of our customers, they're seeing these challenges for the first time in their journey as a company. So why not leverage us to do that? Why not build a playbook that helps to bring these things more efficiently to our customers? So that's what we did. And playbooks allow our customers to tackle those challenges efficiently, leveraging all that expertise and experience that ACS already has.
Kendall, I can attest to the experience. I was in the room when Moneta and our team were developing the playbooks. We could probably have solved climate issues with the amount of people that we had in this room trying to build these playbooks. There's an amazing amount of brain power that went through and try to build these playbooks for our customers. So I can definitely attest to the efforts of building these things out.
Wow.
Well, and our teams are passionate about their customers, right? We get to know you, we understand who you are and what you're doing. So bringing those playbooks in and helping others, it's just they want to leverage their talents and experiences and lessons learned in those leading practices to get you to the next level and do it, efficiently for you.
Right. Agreed. And I think that's a common theme really across the board at NetSuite is just we all really deeply care about the people that we work with, the customers that we work with, the businesses that we work with. We really, really care. And I think ACS is a great showcase of that. And especially ACS Playbooks taking this to a whole new level of support. How do we go about, Moneta, how do we go about implementing ACS Playbooks? I say the word implement, and I think people often get a little scared when they hear that. So I'm curious to know how that happens.
So thanks. Each company, they have key components that make them successful. There are people executing processes within systems, and those processes and systems are creating data that's informing those decisions that need to be made. and helping to successfully deliver their products and services every day, right? I mean, that's every customer is unique in how they approach, or every company is unique in how they approach that, right? So our processes start with discovery. Where are you in your process? How does your company operate today? Are there inconsistent or missing processes blocking your company's ability to grow? The playbook process allows us to quickly figure out where your problems are, and quite frankly, we don't want to spend our time focused on focusing that 80% of our time on what you already do right. We should know that we're already ingrained with you and learning you. We want to focus on where the barriers to success for you are, to whatever that next growth attainment level you want to get to. So once we complete discovery, we develop a roadmap and partner with our customers to execute it. This roadmap coming out of the playbook discovery is going to detail those decisions that need to be made, where those obstacles and choke points in your processes are, and how we're going to remove them, and how we're going to get you to that level and get that playbook implemented.
I was just going to jump in that as Moneta talks about that map, that is such a critical part of this. It's that idea that we know where you're going, right? And we can show you where you're going. This isn't uncharted territory, right? When we talk about, the IPOs or the investment that our customers get, even if it's just doing some retail manufacturing or software or revenue recognition, we have that map. And so we're able to show you, this is the process. This is how you get there. And so we align with you. It's not, sometimes people feel that implementations are doing it to you. ACS, like we said, is that extension of that team, and it's really doing it with you. It's really, going on that journey with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's really a point that Moneta made.
Kendall, could I make a shameless plug, if you don't mind?
Are you kidding? Of course.
So just this morning, I didn't realize that you had backup hosts doing events. And so, our own Nat Rosenthal got to talk to Chalk Couture at Sweet World. And Chalk Couture, if you have a chance to go on YouTube and participate and listen to this interview with the director of finance at Chalk Couture, which is an amazing company, by the way. So definitely check out the website. That's another shameless plug.
Yeah.
They very well articulate the benefits of ACS and what Moneta was talking about with regards to creating a list and ensuring they follow, and as the business rotates and diverts and goes into different directions, the ACS team is flexible enough to help them out. And so it was a great conversation as to how Chalk kind of went down this path of getting implemented and then started moving down their growth objectives of getting to where they are today. So definitely take this YouTube video to heart.
Yeah, actually, that's something we can plug into the comments of this live. We will make sure to do that because that just recently got put on YouTube, which
that's right.
That's on my to-do list today to ping you and let you know. But yes, definitely. We've talked to Anson Hatch from Chalk Couture a couple of times on the podcast, and then on NetSuite TV at Sweet World. They had really, I remember on the podcast him saying to me, ACS helps us leverage NetSuite in ways we didn't think we were going to be able to. They say they leverage the full system. They feel they're getting the most out of it, and I think that's great. And actually, Nat dropped a nice quote in here that he said, ACS is in our corner, which is so true. So thank you for sharing that. No shameless plugs here. They're all good. But Moneta, kind of coming back to what we were just saying. So we have, like we said, tens of thousands of customers all across the globe who are using NetSuite in different ways with different configurations. Since every customer is so unique, how do ACS playbooks make sure to support the individual business needs and, of course, their specific NetSuite configuration?
So, first of all, ACS is a business-first approach to system optimization. And I talked a little bit earlier about how passionate our teams are. They get to know you as a customer, and they become a fierce advocate for you, and they feel they're just as big a part of you as if they were in-house, right? So they get to know your wants, your needs. Playbooks is an extension of that. ACS works best when you view us and treat us as trusted partners, that extension of your team. When you have ACS, we understand what makes your company special in the marketplace. When you want to implement a playbook, we leverage what we know about your company already, right? We leverage how we already know you. You don't have to repeat yourself over and over with so that we can get to know all your struggles and how people adapt and do things at your company. We want to make sure that we understand why your company and your products or your service is special and important to your customers. This understanding is key to making sure we understand your company's culture. Of course, there are leading practices and playbooks. Implement those, and we're here to, make sure we adhere to that. And some of these are industry standards and compliance-based and fairly prescriptive. But what that doesn't mean is that there's no decisions to be made or that the path to accomplish required changes is the same for every company. Every company is at a different place when they encounter challenges that impede growth. Playbooks are prescriptive in approach to achieving an end result, but the roadmap and path to accomplishing them isn't. Every company's in a different place in their journey. Their culture, their experiences, their people, and how quickly they can digest change. Each of those things makes that implementation of a playbook unique and the execution of it unique. So as with any initiative, the destination might be known, but playbooks are the guide to successfully completing the journey. And each of those journeys is unique depending on who you are as a customer.
There's this saying, right, when you travel across Southeast Asia and you're in the market stalls, they say same but different, right? Right, and that's exactly what ACS is. It's same but different, meaning the playbooks are the same. The ACS team, agnostic of the industry and the verticals, that will continue. But you as the customer are different. And so in doing so, right, we are aligning to how that customer works. And as Moneta said, if you're pre-revenue, if you're like in 75 different countries, we understand what you're going through. So yes, the playbooks are consistent in terms of how they've been developed. Yes, we are verticalized, as Nat said, we're industry experts, but they are catered to what you're actually going through. And so that's what kind of, as Moneta was talking, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, so NetSuite has new releases twice a year. It's applying a lot of what we do when we review a release for a customer. We look at not just what's going to impact you, but things that you might want to take advantage of because we know where you're going. We know what your strategies are, and we understand those. So now we're going to take the playbooks and apply that. So it's very similar. We just become that extension and help interpret where you want to go and give you options and help you make those pro and con choices and decisions.
So, when you're looking at that future roadmap, or like you said, you're not really focusing on what's going right. You're focusing on what you need help with or where you're headed. Does that mean we can run multiple playbooks at once?
Oh, well, the short answer is yes. ACS is a scalable resource, and if a customer or company wants to partner with us to implement complementary playbooks at the same time, we can. What I will say is that some of these things are sequential. It just is a fact of life. And often companies have a pace that they can make changes and that they can make them work and digest them within their company. So when we partner with people, we've got to be aware of the impact of the changes and that they all have a day job, really, right? Companies don't stop running for these initiatives. They have to keep selling. They have to keep shipping. They have to keep reporting. It's important to keep sight of what your goals are. What's the most important things to accomplish first? Make sure we prioritize and we're realistic about how and when these changes can be tackled. It's just about putting that roadmap in play, understanding it, and walking down the path for your particular company. The key is prioritization of what's most important with each playbook.
Of course.
Yeah. Sorry, Kendall.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, like, during this COVID, this is the best example of us having to pivot through ACS, right? So we started these ACS subscriptions, and customers were looking to do, improve their inventory, improve their supply chain, maybe implement a module and get it actually on track to what they had projected a couple of years ago. And then COVID hits, and things change. How many customers did we actually have that decided, oh, we've got to get online now? People are not going to come to our brick and mortar. We've got to have an e-commerce presence, or we've got to have a different way of getting product to customers. So the ability to pivot based on what a customer, and I'm using these business words again, so I apologize for pivot and add value. But the idea here is we want to ensure that our customers, when they're actually going through their journey, regardless of things like COVID or just a simple, loss of a NetSuite administrator, the NetSuite team has built a strategy and tasks that get that customer through these hardships or growth objectives that they want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, even look, we're in this time right now, but this is we're only going to continue to evolve from here, whether you pivoted to e-commerce or direct to consumer. A lot of the companies, at least I've talked to, that have said their direct to consumer business looks completely different today than it did 2 years ago.
Exactly.
And that evolution is only going to continue, that we're now moving forward, COVID or not, pandemic coming to an end or not, which obviously we're still in the middle of it, but this is just the business kind of environment that we live in now. It's only going to continue to evolve from what we're seeing today. So I think that's great. I have some shout outs and questions coming in from the audience, but I'm going to wait to have those to ask those until we get to the end of our event. I do want to remind everybody who is tuning in that if you do have questions for any panelists or anyone on our panel, make sure that you go ahead and ask them in the comments, and we will get to as many as we possibly can. I'm going to try to use the last 10 minutes of today's event to do that. And again, if you don't have any comments, just shout out to us. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We're joining from all different parts of the United States. We want to hear where you're joining from too. And if you're using ACS already, tell us how you're using it. Tell us how it's benefiting you. We want to share that with the rest of our viewers as well. Now, a couple last questions here, Nat. I'm going to go back to you. Looking at customer success overall, why is this level of support with ACS so crucial for growing businesses to successfully leverage a system like NetSuite, like what Anson Hatch from Chalk Couture said, how he's able to really leverage NetSuite with the use of ACS?
Sure. Well, I might adjust that a little bit. So I want to make sure when we say that ACS is really an advantage, that we feel it gives people a business advantage in their business environment. So what do I mean by that? It's not all of our customers have ACS, but those of our customers that are leveraging their capital markets, that are looking to grow, again, it goes back to the things that's the same constant theme, and maybe people are getting tired of hearing it, but this idea that as our customers grow, they need to focus on their business. And so we really find that ACS helps that whether it's the Playbooks talk, it's this prescriptive, defined approach to get you to where you're going. And so that not all of our customers have experience. We have customers that are 10 million today, and they're growing to 50 million in the next year. They're doubling almost every 3 months, and it's incredibly fast paced. And they may not have the experience of going to the capital markets. They may not have the experience of expanding to the UK, or as Vinay said, e-com. So what we find is what it's crucial for is it's crucial to make sure that you've got a steady path to move forward, that you've got a defined path. You're not forging your own way through. You're not an independent explorer. You're traveling a well-tread path that so many of our 27,000 customers have used before. And we just find that creates a level of comfort, that creates a level of success that personally at NetSuite and ACS, I think we're incredibly proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of segueing off of that, Vinay, what do you think makes our offering stand out from competitors?
So I'm reminded of, I think 3 years ago at Suite World, Jason Maynard made this reference, or SVP of Field Ops, and he called ACS the Genius Bar, right? This reference that basically when you go to the Genius Bar when your Apple product doesn't work. And I thought about that, and the reality is we're more than the Genius Bar, because you don't come to us when things are broken, right? We're more of this toolbox, and this is the analogy. Like, just think about these playbooks are for all the industries. They are different things that you can work on, but one solution doesn't fit all, right? We're not going to give you a hammer to figure out how to Paint, for example, right? So the idea here is this toolbox that you have is fully equipped with all the tools, all the resources that you need, regardless of what you're trying to do in NetSuite and regardless of what you as an organization are trying to do in terms of your growth opportunities. And I think that's the fundamental difference, Kendall, is being able to leverage NetSuite for all of its resources, because as Nat said, no one knows NetSuite better than NetSuite.
Okay, so this makes, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I had just a quick thing to add is, your ACS team, the named resources, we're the tip of the iceberg, right? We have the ability to dig in and find, yes, maybe I don't specifically know how to execute sweet tax in India really well or VAT in the UK, but I know how to get a hold of somebody who's an expert in that and to help with that. Yeah. Maybe I don't specifically know that specific problem you're having, but I'm going to pull somebody in, and guess what? Before I pull them in, I'm going to educate them on your account, and I'm going to make sure that if they want to ask a question, it's something I don't know the answer to already, so that you don't have to go through that again. I'm going to make sure they become a part of your account just like me. So I think that's a big thing that ACS brings to the table, is just that nobody knows ACS NetSuite better than NetSuite.
Yeah.
But we can get to anybody we need to with the specific expertise you're looking for.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. So I guess, you were saying, Vinay, like, they're not coming to us when something's broken, right? But what are some key indicators that a company really should consider ACS and ACS Playbooks?
So, great example that happened to me. So I've been at NetSuite for a little while. Started an implementation. I met a customer that I implemented 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And we talked about ACS and ACS Playbooks after David and Evan talked about it at SuiteWorld. And they hadn't done anything to their application in those 10 years. And that is an example of a perfect customer. So a customer that doesn't feel like they're getting the full leverage out of the application. A customer that has been stale, quote unquote, for the last 4 years. We come up with 2 releases a year. There are things that we can do to better improve your NetSuite just naturally by using the things that we provide. So customers that haven't been using NetSuite, customers that are going through a big change or a change that they need guidance on. So the obvious ones, whether they're going public. But we've had customers, Kendall, right now, I think the amount of mergers and activities that we're seeing with NetSuite customers, they're coming to us to say, Vinay, we just bought this company. They're live in 5 different countries. What do we do? How do we get them on a NetSuite? And I think those are great examples. So you haven't been using the product, use us. There's a big change in your organization or a smaller change, leverage ACS and the playbooks to kind of get you to the point where you need to be.
A pandemic strikes and you have no idea how to pivot to handle it. I think we have some answers for you.
There you go. Yeah, that's a small one.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this has been so great. Now, I think the only way that we can end this is make sure to tell our customers where they can go to learn more about ACS and ACS Playbooks. Where can they do? How can they find out more information?
So, well, first, I think there's a link in the caption.
Here it is.
I should point. I think I point, somewhere along here, but I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be. So maybe it's up above. I don't know. So there's a link. There's a link in the caption where I know one of the questions was, where can you find out what are the available playbooks? That's exactly where you can do that. If you're an ACS customer and you want to find out about playbooks, or you're not an ACS customer and you want to become an ACS customer so you can leverage the playbooks, you should really call your account manager. They have all the information. They have all that. They'll get in touch with us. Be happy to come out and have a conversation about it, and learn how that NetSuite can run NetSuite and you can focus on your business.
Great.
A great advantage for our customers.
Thank you for that. Now it is time to open it up to our audience for some of those questions that came in. So a quick reminder to all of you, you can keep commenting. Again, we'll get to as many of them as we absolutely can. Obviously, keep shouting out, and we'll also do our best to shout out to you. Now, first question that came in was from Lori. We've got a few, so I'm scrolling up. Lori said, what retail solution do you recommend to use with NetSuite? Whoever wants to take that one.
Well, that's very specific. Retail solution. So here's what I would say. I would want, and this is a consulting answer, we would want more details to be asked from Lori to determine what the right solution is. But what I could say is advanced customer support could direct you in that right direction to figure out what the right retail solution is.
Reach out to your account manager for that.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Another question coming in here, Vinay, do I need to be subscribed? You already kind of answered this, but I'm going to let you answer it anyway. Do I need to be subscribed to ACS to get ACS playbooks?
The answer is yes. So absolutely, we have different types of subscriptions to advanced customer support. The playbooks are assigned to those different types of subscriptions. So definitely talk to your account managers to figure out how you can take advantage of being on ACS and the playbook as well.
Great. Okay, let's see here. Oh, this question is coming in from Monica out of Connecticut. How does ACS differ from LCS? Nat, you want to take that one?
Sure. So ACS is, I think we've made that clear, is the advanced customer support. LCS is our learning cloud support. So LCS is online learning and training for you. So you can, it's available 24 hours a day, so you can take it when you want it. LCS also offers different training packs to be able to do customized training. But in essence, ACS is sort of a manager is support for your business specific, and LCS is really focused on training and enabling you how to use NetSuite, what are the right terms, how to use NetSuite, whether it's accounting or payables or whatever. So that's really the key difference. One is the business focus, and the other is the training.
Got it. All right, let's see here. Okay, Moneta, I'm going to throw this one over to you. I know we talked about Chocolate Tour, but this one is coming from Sam out of Los Angeles. Do you have any real life examples of companies using ACS to improve business?
Sure. So Vinay and mentioned earlier, we have a lot of people who are doing the capital markets, the playbooks to go public or prepare. And then also, currently I'm working with a customer on the international expansion, right? Playbook. And we've done this a lot, right? We're working with them on entering several new markets, and what does that look like for them? It's going to be everything from a hierarchy change in NetSuite to their subsidiaries to how their intercompany operates. It's going to start operating very differently to, hey, we need to do VAT tax and VAT recovery. And, oh, by the way, what's this GDPR thing? So there's a whole lot that we're going through as we go through the capital markets in the international expansion. So we're working through all of that with them. And we've done that before with many customers. And the list of countries is long.
Great. Well, you guys, that is really all the time we have for today. We have a couple minutes left. So before we sign off here, is there anything else any of you want to add or make sure we end on here?
I'll just say 2 seconds. The Playbooks has been an evolution of all of our experience. And I want to specifically thank Vinay and Moneta, who were so instrumental, but there's a whole cast of group behind them that, as Vinay said, if you add it up, it would be centuries of experience with NetSuite. So I just want to thank everybody that was able to bring these out and all the expertise that went into developing them.
Great. Vinay, Moneta, anything else you guys would want to add?
No, Kendall, I'd like to thank you. Thanks for inviting us. Thanks for inviting us. This is fantastic. This is, this may be my first and last time on TV, but thank you.
Same here.
There's always a spot for you on NetSuite TV at some point once we get that rolling at another event soon. No, the pleasure is truly all mine. It's great to hear from you all. Great to learn about ACS and ACS playbooks. I know our audience was so excited. So thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to part ways with all of you. Again, just thank you for joining us. And we look forward to hearing more on ACS and ACS playbooks in the future. And of course, as always, thanks to all of you who are tuning in right now. If you want to learn more about NetSuite, ACS, and ACS playbooks, as we said, there's a link in the caption of this live event. Go ahead and check that out. And if you don't already, be sure to give us a follow or a like or a subscribe to any of our social channels so you never miss out on content and live events just like this. We host them all the time where you can learn all there is to learn about NetSuite, get into some thought leadership with us. So don't miss out. Subscribe now, give us a like, a follow, and we will see you again in the future. Bye.